Welcome to FNaF News. I'm your host, the TNT Muffin, and today we're going to be talking about Funko, Youtooz, Sanshee, the FNaF 2 movie, and more. Starting out with the Youtooz news, we've gotten a new look at a figure of the White Tiger from Help Wanted 2 or Secret of the Mimic, and I think it looks really good. This is honestly one of the best FNaF Youtooz figures I've seen, at least from this drawing here. We don't know what it's going to look like in actual figure form, but it looks basically exactly like the Plush from Help Wanted 2. You can barely even tell it's a Youtooz figure. Like the eyes they usually have are very subtle here. I think it's like the tiny highlights in the eyes are the Youtooz logo. I think that's great. I love that. Can't wait to see what it looks like as an actual figure. Another figure we've gotten a look at is their Toy Bonnie figure, which is going to release with the rest of the FNaF 2 characters. From what we can see of it, I think it looks really good. The head, at least, looks pretty much exactly like Toy Bonnie from the game or the movie. It is a little weird looking with the giant head and the small body, but I think it looks good so far. Definitely excited to see the rest of the FNaF 2 characters, seeing how good this one looks. And speaking of the FNaF 2 movie, we've got some really big news here. First of all, if you don't know already, a new trailer has just released for the movie, and it looks incredible. I watched this first thing when I woke up yesterday, and pretty much every new thing we saw in the trailer just absolutely blew me away. Like, the puppets box, when I first saw that, my jaw dropped. I did not expect it to look like that. I kind of thought it was just gonna be a small cardboard or wooden box, but it's like this big, shiny, awesome looking thing. The puppet looks great, and especially the wizards look amazing. Withered Bonnie, I think, looks really good. I love that so much. I'm so excited to see this movie in theaters, and this trailer, by the way, is in theaters now. I don't know all the movies it's going to be playing before, but I believe if you watch the new Fantastic Four movie, this is one of the previews that plays before it. So that's awesome. Seeing the withered animatronics on the big screen is going to be sick. I can't wait to go do that. And along with the trailer, we've gotten a description of what the movie's going to be about. So here it is. 1 year has passed since the supernatural nightmare at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. The stories about what transpired there have been twisted into a campy local legend inspiring the town's first ever FazFest. Former security guard Mike, Josh Hutcherson, and police officer Vanessa, Elizabeth Lale, have kept the truth from Mike's 11-year-old sister Abby, Piper Rubio, concerning the fate of her animatronic friends. But when Abby sneaks out to reconnect with Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, it will set into motion a terrifying series of events revealing dark secrets about the true origin of Freddy's and unleashing a long-forgotten horror hidden away for decades. So pretty interesting description there. It's basically just what you can tell from watching the trailer, but it's cool to be seeing it there written on paper and to really clarify things, because sometimes trailers can be a bit misleading. I'm sure a lot of stuff in this trailer as well is pretty misleading, so it's cool to have a good solid description there. At the same time as all this was happening, there was a panel for Five Nights at Freddy's at the San Diego Comic-Con where a bunch of the cast went on stage and said some stuff, as well as the director, Jason Blum, and all of that. Most of it didn't really matter. They said that FNaF 3 is a potential movie that could happen if this movie does well. Just some generic stuff like that. However, there was this one pretty interesting thing from Skeet Ulrich, one of the actors on the film, who said this about his character. I play somebody with a very particular and specific past, and somebody with a very deep emotional tie to what's going on. And this, at least in my opinion, basically confirms that Skeet Ulrich will be playing Henry Emily in the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie. And this, coupled with the FNaF 3 kind of confirmation, is pretty interesting to me. I'm kind of thinking if Skeet Ulrich's character survives this film, we might get some type of FNaF 6-esque ending to the series. That's complete speculation, but I kind of think something like the FNaF 6 ending might happen. We'll have to wait and see, but very excited to see Henry Emily in the movie. Probably. Also, at this event, some clips were shown from the film. We unfortunately don't get to see them because recording was not allowed, but we have some descriptions of what's going on in them. I personally have not read the descriptions. I want to go into the movie a little more blind, but my editor will put the descriptions on screen, so if you want to read them, there they are. So very exciting news, gets me very excited for the film. Every piece of news gets me more and more excited for this movie. I absolutely cannot wait to see it on December 5th, and I'll be the first to let you know when we get more news. Speaking of the FNaF movie, we've gotten a new wave of Hex merch featuring the Yellow Rabbit plush, which has a swappable head for the purple guy head. And as well as that plushie, this wave also includes a hoodie, a shirt, and a pin, so if you want to pick up any of that stuff, it is out now. Another Hex plush, the Pop Goes plush, by the way, is still up on the Hex website. The plush has luckily been funded, but they're not all gone, so it will still be available until they hit the 500 sales. And very similar to that, by the way, the TNT Mini Muffin plush has also been funded and is also still up to purchase until it hits 100 sales or until it ships in September, so get it while you can if you want this plush. Speaking of merch, we've gotten some pretty interesting Funko news here, where we got revealed a new wave of pop figures. This is the Help Wanted 2 line of pop figures, which is one of the most exciting waves of pop figures we've gotten so far, in my opinion, because it's got a bunch of characters we've been waiting for a while. Vanny, Glitch Trap, Scrap Baby, and DJ Music Man. Now, I've seen mixed feelings on this wave. I personally think all of the figures look amazing, you know, maybe with the exception of Vanny. I'm a big fan of these. I think Scrap Baby looks great. It's basically the same as the action figure, which I'm a big fan of. DJ Music Man, I think, looks really good. I'm really excited for that because we haven't gotten a DJ Music Man figure yet, so that's awesome. And Glitch Trap, I think, looks pretty good as well. I've seen some people that are not a big fan of Glitch Trap because his head's so blocky, but I mean, that's what pop figures are. They have heads that look like that. I personally think this Glitch Trap figure looks better than the Youtooz, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about these figures in the comments. I personally like them a lot. A little bit of surprising news here. A new Sanshee plush has recently released of Spring Bonnie. You may have already seen this because this happened a little bit ago, but a new Spring Bonnie plush from Sanshee. It looks really good in my opinion. I'm a big fan of it. It appears to be based on the Spring Bonnie poster from Secret of the Mimic, I think. I haven't played the game yet, so I don't know if this plush is featured in the game. Don't tell me, by the way. I'm waiting to play the game until it releases in VR, so don't spoil anything, or I'll be really sad. Unfortunately, this plush has sold out, so you can no longer buy it, but I assume that like all other Sanshee plushies, they'll probably restock it at some point, and when they do, I'll definitely let you know. Another piece of plush news is that Pillow Pets have recently released a Bonnie Pillow Pet. This is pretty interesting. It seems the head is actually based off of the tie-dye Funko Bonnie plush, which I was definitely not expecting. I thought it would be the FNaF 1 wave of plushies that they'd use Bonnie from. That was a weird sentence. But it seems they did the tie-dye one. I'm very curious to see when they eventually do Chica, if they'll be using the tie-dye Chica plush's head, or if they'll go back to the FNaF 1 Chica, or if they'll make something new. I really have no idea. This is just very surprising to me. I think it looks really good, though. We've also gotten some new TUBBZ Ducks of Baby and the Puppet, which I think look amazing. They've been doing a really good job so far with turning the FNaF characters into ducks, especially with Baby. I did not expect this, and with the faceplates open, it looks really cool. They did a great job with that. The puppet as well, I think it's pretty cool. I like that if you look at it front on, it kind of just looks like the puppet's mouth. where the beak is, since it's completely black. Big fan of those, very curious to see what characters they make next. And surprisingly, we have some news on FLaF at Freddy's. The game unfortunately will not be releasing until next year, but we have gotten an update to the game. It didn't add too much crazy stuff. I believe it has character animations on like the menu screen, and the cool thing is we've got a new cart, which is Trash in the Gang, which I think is really fun. You've got, I think, all of the Trash in the Gang characters incorporated there, with Mr. Can-Do as the actual can, Mr. Hugs hugging the back of it, number 1 crate on the front and with his hand on the side. I assume Panstan is the steering wheel. If not, that would be sad. Bucket Bob I actually don't see, but maybe he's on there somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, I love to see that. I'm a big Panstan fan, and it's been sad to see him forgotten in games like Ultimate Custom Night and Help Wanted 2. So it's nice to see him recognized here. And the last thing I'm going to be talking about here is we've gotten some FNaF Halloween things, like these new costume masks of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, which I actually think look really good. These are probably the best like official masks we've gotten for FNaF, especially with Chica. I think looks really good, very accurate to the games. Those are going to be, I believe, $35 each, which isn't too bad for like full head Halloween masks. I think they're pretty decent. And then we've got these little light up statues of the main 4 as well, which are a little bit interesting because you've got Freddy and Chica as just like their normal selves pretty much, and then Bonnie and Foxy are holding pumpkins. I don't know why only those 2 are Halloween themed, but I think those look pretty good. Those are gonna be like $24 each for foot tall figures. It's not too bad, I guess. I think they look decent. We don't have much holiday themed FNaF like decorations, so this is actually pretty interesting. But that is all the news we have today. So, if you want to subscribe, you can click the button on top of my head. If you want to watch my last FNaF news video, you can click that button over there. And if you want to see some other video I made, you can click that button over there. And I'll see you when we get some more news on Five Nights at Freddy's.